Is Keir Starmer's Labour government recklessly dumping hundreds of unchecked male migrants into quiet British towns, sparking massive street protests and safety fears? Or is it a desperate fix for a broken asylum system that's already cost billions and fueled endless riots? This raw, urgent question rips through every peaceful high street, every worried school gate, every family dinner from East Sussex's rolling hills to Scotland's misty highlands, as fresh waves of demonstrators flood the roads to halt the Home Office's bold plan to cram 600 small boat arrivals into Crowborough Army Camp. Political insiders confirm this marks the second straight weekend of fierce rallies in the sleepy town of 22,000, with over 2,000 locals marching yesterday, Union Jacks and St George's crosses waving high, chanting "Starmer out" and "Crowborough says no." Across the UK, citizens are expressing deep outrage, from Inverness families protesting the eviction of war heroes for 300 asylum seekers at Cameron Barracks to Epping residents haunted by a hotel sex attacker's release. Home Office sources whisper it's a tinderbox, with police patrols doubled amid 200 migrant hotel residents charged with crimes this year alone, including rapes and assaults. Picture the crisp November chill wrapping around Crowborough's charming tree-lined streets, not with the cozy hum of weekend shoppers, but with the steady tramp of hundreds of determined feet, flags snapping in the wind like a call to arms. Yesterday, November 16, over 2,000 strong souls, mums with prams, dads with megaphones, grannies with steely glares, poured into the town centre, their voices rising in a thunderous roar against the government's sneaky scheme to transform the old army camp, just a mile from homes and schools, into a fortress for 600 single male migrants. Bold placards thrust skyward screamed, "If in doubt, keep 'em out, protect our community," and "Crowborough says no." Simple words, heavy with fear for daughters walking home alone and sons playing in local parks. A lone man on a crackling megaphone led the chants, Starmer out," echoing like a battle cry through the quiet Sussex air. This isn't the first clash. Last weekend, on November 8, 1,000 marched the same route, hearts pounding with the same raw fury. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood's big talk this morning, doubling down on her golden ticket crackdown, vowing a 20-year wait for permanent stay, rings hollow to locals. "It won't change a thing here," snaps Kim Bailey, chair of the fiery Crowborough Shield group that sparked the rally. "The water system's a health hazard, leaky pipes, old asbestos whispers, and they've done zero checks. This is our town, folks. We're real people, everyday residents who've never marched before, but we stand together now. Crowborough's lighting the fuse for what's coming nationwide." But what happened next stunned even the steadiest hearts. As the crowd swelled, Kerry Knight from Kent's Pink Ladies group, a band of fierce women in rosy gear, took the makeshift stage, her voice cracking with passion. "This isn't about race or religion, it's about love. Love for our kids' safety, common sense our leaders lack, risk to our quiet lives, no more." The air thickened with nods and cheers, a sea of red and white St George's crosses blending with Union Jacks like a patchwork of pride. Local independent councillor Andrew Wilson, face flushed with resolve, urged the throng, "We march every weekend till we turn this nightmare around. Our voices matter, use them." Back in Scotland, the fire spread north yesterday to Inverness, where hundreds clashed in a heated standoff over Cameron Barracks. Protesters bellowed, "Send them home," as counter-demonstrators waved welcome signs, but fury boiled over evicting war heroes from their historic 150-year-old base. The Queen's Own Highlanders Regimental Association booted out for 300 male asylum seekers. SNP councillors usually pro-migrant joined the backlash, slamming the surprise plan with zero consultation. Highland Council bosses fired off a joint letter to Mahmood. "This makes no sense. Self-contained, near city centre, hospitals, shops, strain on GPs already at breaking point, and community cohesion shattered." One veteran, kilted and scarred from Falkland's fog, growled to reporters, "We bled for this soil. Now they shove us aside for strangers. Inverness won't roll over." In a raw, urgent, breaking tone, this isn't just local gripes, it's a national betrayal unfolding in real time. Mahmood's overhaul, billed as the biggest since World War II, promises to scrap the golden ticket lure, illegal arrivals waiting 20 years for settlement, temporary status reviewed yearly, support yanked for lawbreakers or rule shirkers. She thundered in Parliament, "Asylum is a privilege, not a right, earned through time and good conduct." But locals scoff, too late, it fixes nothing for us now." Crowborough's camp, once Once a training ground for young cadets dreaming of duty, now eyes a 1 million revamp. Boilers, asbestos hunts, rushed for end-of-month arrivals. No public meetings, no deep digs into the site's dodgy water or crumbling walls. Wealdon District Council, a Lib Dem Green mix, voted unanimous fury on November 19. Bad idea, legal fight ahead, barristers briefed. They've crowdfunded £27,000 for King's Council to slam the gates shut. Protests roll on next weekend and the one after, every Sunday a fresh wave of defiance. In Epping, Essex, the scars run deeper. Last week, a judge finally ruled against the Bell Hotel housing migrants after Hadish Kabatu, an Ethiopian small boat arrival, sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl and a woman just days after landing in July. Jailed 12 months in September, he was mistakenly freed October 24, sparking a frantic manhunt before deportation to Ethiopia on October 29. Epping Forest Council sued hotel owners Samani Hotels for breaching planning rules. Victory at last. But the damage? A town terrorized, protests flaring into riots. Kabatu's twisted words, "Come to Africa, you'd be a good wife," haunt parents, while his release exposed prison chaos, overworked staff, automatic deportation glitches. Deputy PM David Lammy fumed, appalled, livid for the public. The shocking truth deepens the wound. Home Office stats hide a grim tally. At least 200 residents from asylum hotels charged with crimes up to August 2025, including rapes and robberies. The Telegraph dug into 50 sites, 109 violent offences, 44 sexual assaults, 4 alleged rapes, 63 thefts. Wembley's Holiday Inn Empire Way, 28 charges. Oxford Holiday Inn Express and Derby Midland, 24 combined. Huddersfield echoes old horrors, 20 men jailed for 120 abuses on girls, a grooming gang scar that screams systemic failure. Locals in Crowborough whisper the same dread. Strain our GPs, flood our streets with unknowns. We've sympathy for some fleeing hell, but not all are saints. Safety first, for our wives, our youngsters, no fear walking the road at dusk. One marcher to GB News, "We fear the unknown knock, the shadow in the park, not hate, just sense." Across the nation, the hotel crisis, 32,000 souls in 200-plus spots, billions burned, spawns this barracks push. But 2 sites for 900 men, a drop in the ocean, locals cry, while services snap, potholes unfixed, pensioner buses cut. As shadows lengthen over these protests, Britain's backbone stiffens in quiet resolve. Crowborough's Kim Bailey rallies the crowd. "We're not activists, we're neighbours, scared that standing tall. This stage we set for every town next." Inverness's Beth Mackenzie, from Inverness for All, counters with hope. "Hate spreads online, we stand to welcome, build bridges, not walls." But fury flares, clashes in the Highlands, 180 anti-migrant voices versus 120 pro, sirens blaring, placards clashing like swords. Highland Council demands a public forum. MPs like Nuzgani petition hard. Rejected under Tories, now forced on us. Conflict with landscape plans, safety ignored. Even across the pond, Trump thunders Friday, "Britain, you won't have a country left unless you deport now, post-military on the coast, like us." His words, blunt like a hammer, echo Reform UK's Nigel Farage. "Mahmood sounds like one of us. Shame ECHR and backbenchers block it. Labour splinters. 41 rebels I revolt. Whispers of scrap the jewellery seizures in the overhaul's fine print. Polls plunge. Approval at 26%. Over 65s bolt 19 points. Tory surge. Reform rockets to 21%. No turning back now. The fire's lit and it's spreading fast. Wealdon's legal salvo launches Monday. Crowdfunding swells to £30,000. Inverness councillors pen urgent pleas. Remamp costs £1 million. Boilers, asbestos, yet arrivals rushed. Delay for decency. Epping's win, a spark for more suits. Councils eyeing injunctions. Mahmood's row, end hotels by 2029. Safe routes via community sponsors rings empty amid the chants. Protesters vow, every weekend till victory. Trump's stark warring hangs heavy. Destroy from within, not on our watch. From Crowborough's defiant drums to Inverness's Highland horns, Britain's quiet towns roar awake. This isn't chaos, it's clarity. Protect our own, fix the broken, demand the due diligence skipped. Communities betrayed, no more. The march continues, hearts united, voices unbowed. This is Breaking News UK, your unflinching frontline against the fog. The fury didn't start in Crowborough's calm lanes. It surged from Southport stabs, Epping assaults, hotel horrors nationwide. It's clawing at every council chamber, every channel beach, every lie layered thick. Smash subscribe, snag alerts before spinmeisters silence us. Share this storm from your Sussex stroll to your Scottish strath. Rally kin, roar for borders bold. Truth blazes brighter than any bonfire, and Britain, we're beholding, we're battling, the reclaim.